Hello everyone, Mauricio Extraterrestrials here. Today I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 4. Now, I'm a little mixed on this season. For starters, I want to just feel like, I want to express how I feel about the season. I'm very mixed. Because this season, Scott Gimple took over the show. For people who don't know, he took until from season 4 through season 8. That's when he took over the show. I want to kind of express how I feel about this season. For starters, I feel like I should just split this into like first half and the second half. Because I would kind of consider this the first season they start doing that. So let's see. Let's start with the pros and then the cons. Okay, so the pros of the season. I like how they made Rick not the leader, as he was a little like disgusted by his actions. I'm still sick, so I hope I get better by tomorrow or a couple of days. But yeah, I like how they made Rick not like, and they made him more of a farmer, or at least a person that is actually caring for people. I like that. I really like that. I think it's great development for Rick's character. I prefer this Rick over the season 3 Rick, where he just attacked people for no reason. So yeah, Rick actually had some development here, which I like. I think Andrew Lincoln's a great actor. I think he's an underrated actor. Why isn't Andrew Lincoln in more stuff? He's a great actor. He should be on The Flash. He'd be a great character on The Flash. He'd play a good character. So, next positive thing is I like the concept of the flu storyline. I'll get that more in the cons later, but I love that idea. I think it works perfectly for Walking Dead. Because obviously, if you're somewhere safe, how do you make that place not safe if zombies aren't the threat, or if people aren't the threat? Well, a virus or a flu works, or a disease works perfectly well. Glenn, Maggie, enjoyed their characters in the season. Beth, Daryl, enjoyed all their characters in the season. Herschel, this is unfortunately the last season with Herschel in. Rest in peace, Scott Wilson. He's one of the main reasons The Walking Dead is one of my favorite TV shows. And Herschel, he was a great character. Yeah. So let's get in, obviously the Governor is a great villain. I prefer season 4 Governor over season 3 Governor, in my opinion. I know a lot of people prefer the season 3 version, but I prefer the season 4 version. So, let's get into the cons of the season. So, first stars, I need to get this out of my chest, because this is a problem the entire show faces. Like almost every season has this problem, and that is the cutting editing. I'm not sure what you call it, but it's like, you know how like certain shows have where like they end like one scene, but then they cut to the next. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not sure what that's called, but to me, The Walking Dead probably has that, and has done it probably the worst. It's even been a problem with The Flash season 8 lately. It's just that they feel like they're like one scene. I believe episode 1 was one of them where we have in like Daryl, Bob's, I believe Michonne and others going out, but then they cut to like Rick just walking here. I'm gonna show you a clip of it. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about now. Is one of my main problems with the entire show. I just wish they just tried to cut that out, to like cut to like a moment where, like, say if Rick is walking with Michonne in the woods and a cliffhanger and like something shocking like the TF moment happens, they show what's actually happening instead of just cutting to like, oh, Glenn's going out with, I don't know, Daryl essentially. That's something The Walking Dead has faced. It's been a problem in season 1, season 2, season 3. It's basically a big problem for me the entire show. I guess some people could see this as a nitpick, but to me, if it's a problem for like 90% of the seasons, I feel like they should just have better editing in my opinion. I'm not saying it's like the worst editing, but to be honest, at times it feels like it's the worst type of editing, and it just takes me at times out of the show because I want to know what's going on with like I said earlier, it's like look at the show. Like they were doing like a herd in the woods, but then they cut to like Glenn and Daryl just at a bar trying to find people. And I'm like, I want to know what's going on between Rick and Michonne. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. Speaking of Michonne, I actually started liking her in this season a little bit more than I did in season 3. They actually seem to make her at least a more likable character, at least in the back half of season 4. So that's one of the positives I forgot. Another negative I have to say with the season is I feel like The Walking Dead has probably the worst drama out of all the shows I've seen. I've only watched a few shows: Arrow, The Flash, Breaking Bad. Only a little bit of Breaking Bad, like the first 2 episodes, and of course, Walking Dead, Family Guy, Simpsons, American Dad, etc. To me, The Walking Dead has the worst drama out of those shows because it's constant. In my opinion, makes sometimes it feels like it's very forced and at times makes characters unlikable, as well as making sometimes the deaths of characters less impactful than before. Like the reason why I believe Arrow and the Flash work better with deaths, with when someone dies in the show, is that they never have a lot of drama on the death. And they always try to make the character likable, which in my opinion works. But in my opinion, I think The Walking Dead kind of fails at that times. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have drama, it's just that sometimes I feel like they focus way too much on that. And they just make the characters unlikable and makes the deaths less impactful than it may first seem. Another problem I have is the emotional moments, like I said, when a character dies, and I feel like it's not bad acting, it's great acting, it's just that sometimes the writing feels way off. Season 1 suffered this, season 2 suffered this, season 3 suffered this, almost every season had suffered this. Again, this one can seem more of a nitpick, but to me, because death is a big part of The Walking Dead, and obviously you have a lot of emotional moments, to me it feels really odd. So let's get into the flu storyline that I said before, how I wasn't a fan of it. To me, the storyline felt convoluted. I didn't understand what the flu storyline worked, how the flu even worked. So they said that it works only on young people, meaning younger people are more likely to get it. But then, where did the flu even start? Because in the beginning, they said that maybe it's a flu that happened inside the prison, but then some are saying it happened outside. So I'm just sitting there and thinking, okay, so is it inside or outside? I don't get the flu storyline like at all. And to me, it kind of sucks when the main problem of the season, in the season, I should not, like the main problem the characters are dealing with in the season, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Again, I'm not against the idea. I love the idea. It's just that to me, it just doesn't make sense because does the flu come from inside the prison or outside the prison? I was very confused on that. I'd say at best the flu storyline was an okay storyline. Andrew Lincoln, Scott Wilson, Norman Reedus, Chandler Riggs, Lauren Cohen, Emily Kinney, Gerald Coleman, Melissa McBride, all of them did give a great performance. I'd say all the performances in this entire show are like absolutely 10 out of 10. It's one of the main reasons I still watch the show. And even if it's kind of its worst season, I still love this show. I still love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I'd say it's maybe my third. Well, I guess it's, I don't know, but it's one of my favorite shows. Maybe this is a comic book show, but just the many elements of it I like. So let's get into the back half. Now the back half started pretty rough. Carl, at this point, I feel like at this point, I just don't like Carl. I think he's probably one of my least favorite characters, and I know a lot of people are saying, what? Blasphemy. I just don't like his character. To me, his character feels incredibly, like, I don't think I feel like Chandler at times tries his best, but I feel like it's really just the writing behind the character I don't like. Like I liked him in season 1, but from season 2 onwards, I just end up not liking him at all. To me, it feels, like, I feel like it felt so forced that he's like, I don't know how to put it in words, but I felt like his relationship with Rick in the beginning of season 4 felt normal, like a good relationship. But I felt like he just became a more unlikable character from now on. Alright, let's talk about, The Grove. Do I think it's a great episode or a bad episode? Now, I think it's not a good episode, unfortunately. I know a lot of people like this episode. To me, Lizzie and Mika, just that storyline just didn't work for me. Like, it's not that I thought they were bad, it's just the characters were written so poorly to a point I just didn't care. Now, yes, what Carol does, that one we won't talk about. To me, like the Lizzie and Mika storyline just didn't work. I felt like the writing behind it just felt so incredibly forced. The Mika storyline, I feel like, I'm not saying it was a bad storyline, I'm just saying it could work, but I feel like it just didn't work for me. Now, in the comics, Carl actually killed, now in the comics, I should say, the Walking Dead comics, this story is actually given to Ben and Billy, where I believe it was Ben who does it, and Carl actually goes in and kills him in the comics. But to me, I think the problem, yeah, I'll just move on. Now, I did like Tyrese's character. I think he's a great character in this entire show. Star Predator, I know you don't like Tyrese, but I like him. I really like his storyline in the season. For me, it works perfectly well. In just that storyline of him trying to find who killed Karen, who was a wasted character. I felt like Karen was an actual good character for the, 2 episodes she was in. But that storyline made a lot of sense. Chad L. Coleman, he gave a great performance as Tyrese. I also liked him as Tobias Church on Arrow. I thought, wait a second, like when I first watched season 3, I was like, wait a minute, I think that's Tobias Church, right? And then I looked it up, oh yeah, it is Tobias Church. I mean, I knew Emily Kinney was on the show, but my God, I didn't expect Joe Coleman. I was genuinely surprised. Again, it's one of the main reasons The Walking Dead's a good show, in my opinion. Now, let's just get into the Claimers. Now, the Claimers is a controversial group in the show. I'm not sure if people like them or not. Because I know a lot of people like Shane, the governor, Negan. But apart from those two villains, I don't think a lot of people like the other villains. I'm not sure about the Whisperers, but yeah. But the Claimers, I thought were I kind of struggle because to be fair, I feel like one of the main problems is when you make Rick's kill a member of their group. It makes sense that the Claimers weren't gonna be happy about it. So I felt like I sympathized more with the Claimers than Rick. But at the same time, what they were doing were insane. I wouldn't do that. So overall, I'm gonna give my overall opinion of season 4. To me, this season is okay. It's definitely better than season 3. Definitely way better than season 3. Because actually has Rick as a likable character, understandable, very stressed and very anxious and very paranoid. So I automatically much better season than season 3 for me. But it's still not like season 1 or 2. I like season 1 more than this. I prefer season 1's more sci-fi stuff. I know Walking Dead doesn't do a lot of sci-fi, but I actually like the science behind walkers. I prefer the name walkers over zombies in the show named The Walking Dead, so etc. etc. But overall, I would have to give this season, I want to say an I, a C minus at best, for one main reason. It's not an L or D minus or an E plus or etc. Because I feel like I'd say if I was forced to watch season 4 again, I would only choose the good episodes, which are episode 8, no, episode 6, 7, 8, episode 11, and episode 16. Apart from those 5, the other episodes are not as exciting, which I know. No, and I like the character developments. One of the main reasons I like the show. It's not just because, oh, there's so much cool action. Obviously, I love the show. I love the show because it has a lot of great characters. It takes its time. It tries to have action. It has action. It has character development. I prefer the character development a lot. And I like how they develop the characters while also having a lot of action. In my opinion, works a lot better. But to me, this season's had a lot of problems. I would say it's an okay season at best. So there you have it. I'm going to give it an I. So, but what do y'all think of season 4? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.